There we go, recording. Wonderful. Welcome to Saturday morning on in South Africa, a long weekend, because Thursday was a holiday, and next week's a long weekend. So I don't think we will be present here on following Saturday. So I'll send out a message because it is, of course, Easter weekend and a lot of family time. And that's what it's all about. But today I'm back. Apologies for not being here last weekend. Had family things, and that's what happens, and that's important as well. Isn't that why we're doing all of this? But what I want to share on today is a continuation from where we were 2 weeks ago. So as always, if you haven't watched the previous recording, it is posted on the Telegram group. It is on YouTube as well. So make it really easy. So if you haven't seen it, hello, Zelda. Lovely to have you here. Don't watch that first, then come back to this one. But if you're here today and you're watching it and think, well, I haven't, it doesn't matter, because they are standalone, but there's more value when you see the whole bigger picture. So that's where you'll put all of them together as a transition. But today I want to actually do something. I'm going to share something which I actually came up with this week, sort of an addition. It's all my program continuously developed. Would you like that? This is fresh. Are you ready for this? I've never actually done this with a live group before. Should we do it today? Or do you want me to just deal with the normal stuff? Who wants to do something different? I've only just come up with this. But when I did it, I thought it was actually quite powerful. Should we do something different, a bit unique? Because I've never done this before. I don't know anybody who's done this before. All right, you're all excited, so that's fine. I'm going to do it anyway because I want to. I want to see how it works. But before I do that, I want to just share what it is I'm going to be talking about. And today is why, the start of, or the continuation of why, and we're going to be talking about why for a couple of weeks now. And the basic concept behind it is that sometimes a strategy isn't what is actually needed in your next step, in your next phase in life. And we think there's more thinking processes and thoughts coming out now than there was or has been in years before about how important it is to know how you feel about it. And this was a huge thing for me, is moving from the intellectual mind, the thought process mind, to the heartfelt mind. This is where the feeling state lives. And that's been a big journey of mine over the last few years. Because what you're identifying more and more is you already know what you want. You're starting to get more clarity on that, be it that you want to be debt-free, you want a new house, you want a car, pay off your bills, children in university, whatever it may be. But it's not necessarily what you're actually doing in your life or what you attain. It's how that makes you feel is what you're actually after. And that's what we're going to be starting to dig into a little bit today. And then I'll do some more. I might do a video next week instead, because there's quite a few things to cover. But you don't have to have figured out the entire process of how you're going to go from here to there. We often think you need that strategy, and this is the way that I was taught with goal setting decades ago, is you need to put it down in finite detail and work, and what I'm learning more and more about that, you know what? If you structure it in so much detail, you may be missing something bigger than you can think of or conceive of in your present state or place. So we can limit ourselves without realizing there's more. So you can go off in a direction of something that you want to attain. That's great. When you hit a speed bump, a wobble, a wrong turn, a detour, understanding that that is just a sign, a signal that, hang on a second, you may be going the wrong direction because there's something greater for you waiting down this path over here. So to understand that if you're heading down one route, imagine if you're driving from Cape Town to Johannesburg, you've mapped out the road. You know Joburg's your destination, and you've got this. But what happens if there's suddenly a big detour because there's a truck overturned on the N1 and it's blocked? And they say detour. Do you freak out about it and turn around and go home? Say, well, that didn't work. Or do you go, right, let me go down this way? And when you go down this unknown path, this road, you suddenly go through the most amazing villages or towns or scenery. And I shared some of my story with you guys before about what I've discovered by going down a different path than the one that I was intending or planning to. And if it wasn't for that detour, I would have never uncovered or discovered or seen and met the most amazing people and opened up my mind to thinking, wow, I had no idea that existed, or this was ultimately was possible. So having too much of a structured strategy may mean that you're missing out on some greater things. So while you want to know where you're going, and we all know where it is, you can go off in that direction. But instead of working out that detailed strategy and being a data collector where you're discovering on the way what it is that you need to do, and all you're doing is capturing data and writing down, right, this step and that step and this step. It's not so much about that part of it, the what you're doing, but it is about how's it going to make you feel when you get there? What is that feeling state that you're actually looking for? And that's what we're going to start pulling on today a little bit. Whether you want to be productive, you want to be free, you want to have whatever your desires are. We're going to start. I'm going to ask you for 4 of them for now, just 4, keeping it simple. We don't need to know the full route. So let's start this. Let's actually begin this. Let me open up my slides here quickly. Hello, Joyce. Wonderful to see you here. Oh, that's beautiful. We've got a couple of great people. Let me share my screen. Let me see if I can, in fact, do this. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, now it's telling me I'm unable to open. Why am I always having the challenges with my slides on Saturdays? I never have this problem during the week. Okay, it says I can't. Let me try another way. There we go. All right, there we go. You guys can see that, right? Okay, you can see that? Give me a thumbs up in the chat or something like that, then I know you are on board. Okay, the why factor. So quick recap. We've been speaking about a purpose statement, which is the conclusion of the values. And I know, Aaron, thanks for sharing with me earlier in the week, I think it was, where you were saying, right, I've done the value statement, and it was more challenging than I thought. I don't feel or believe that I've necessarily captured the true essence. Oh, what's going on? Go back. Yeah, go back. Oh my goodness. It's doing it again, guys. It did this to me the other night. But yes, I've done a whole presentation this week. Let me try that again. Sorry, where Arendt was actually talking, and he was saying that I don't necessarily believe I've captured it entirely. That's perfectly fine. It's a start. It's the stepping stones to ultimately getting there. And I think by the time that I'd done the DeMartini value principles, it was maybe the 3rd time that I actually went, this is me. It feels now right. Okay, let's try again. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep it on there. Okay. I'm going to have to do some reloading here. So if you haven't, or you're still busy with the values, that's perfectly fine. And as I've offered before, if you want some help or guidance in putting it together, the values, and getting all the other processes together to creating your purpose statement, please do reach out to me. That's also entirely possible. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry about this. It's only happening to be with Power Gifting. The other Monday, it wouldn't let me play the slides. Now today, it's not letting me. I've got a gremlin. All right, no problem. Skip the slides. I don't have to have them. I don't have to have them. Okay, all right, back onto here. Okay, so moving from values, moving to purpose, then who enjoyed writing your future vision statement? Put a thumbs up there. Did you actually do that? I think you guys were all on that call. Have you written that? Did you write your future vision statement? What is life like in March 2025? Wow, look what I've accomplished in the last year. Did you write that story? Did anybody gain value from doing that to help you identify what it is that you actually want to achieve, but from the reverse side? I did cover that. Yes, I did cover that 2 weeks ago. Did anybody enjoy that? Did you gain value from that? Anybody want to share? I haven't lost you a lot, have I? Yes, but not done yet. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a process. It's a great. This is one that you really need to sit down in a quiet spot with a journal or a paper and a book. Take your book there and just write the story. But spend the time doing that. It doesn't take long, but it can be quite invigorating. Has anybody else started it or tried to start? Give it a shot, guys. Okay. Remember, I'm here sharing with you so that you can take this and do something of value with it for yourself, because this is all about you. This is about how you can take these things, which individually seem quite insignificant when you're thinking, but I want to be able to send more gifts and receive more gifts. Yeah, but this is the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. And understanding why you're doing it, how, having achieved that state of now receiving multiple gifts, be it Power Gifting or anything else in life, it's understanding your deep-seated reason, what's going to drive you. Because when you're talking to people, remember we've said it before, when you speak to somebody, they join you, they don't join Power Gifting. And if you can share your deep reason why you're doing it, because you know, and you know that you know, and they can feel it because you've been through it intellectually and you've moved away from the traditional, I need more money to pay my bills because I've got this and that. And you then say, well, this is the deeper reason. They resonate with it because people have that feeling state when you go, wow, okay, now this guy, this lady really, really knows their purpose behind it. I'm going to follow you. How can I get that, what it is that you're after? That's where all this comes into. So grab together, put your thumbs up there that you've all got a blank sheet of paper. Give me some interaction. You haven't got your cameras on? Give me some interaction. You got a blank sheet of paper? Monica says yes. I need some interaction. Aaron, you already showed it to me. Joyce, Elizabeth, Zelda, have you got access, Coach B? Elizabeth says yes. Yay. Ningy's got one. Because you are going to need this. This is an exercise along with one of these things. It's called a pen. Quite unique these days and not very often. Hey, Joyce is there. Yes. Have we got? Because this is something I want you to actually do with me. As often I hear people say, oh, I haven't had the time or I haven't got to it, I haven't completed it yet. This is an exercise we are doing together right here and now. Just join me with it. Join me for it. And then you extend it, you carry on it afterwards. Okay, so when you've got your piece of paper, very simple. It's folded twice, half once and half again. When you've done that, give me a thumbs up. Then open it up again, and you'll have the crease. Okay, you're going to have 4 rectangles. Very difficult. In the center of each rectangle, center of each, I want you to write one word of something that you want. Something that you want. So you're taking 4 of your goals, 4 things that you want, maybe do, be, have, doesn't matter, just 4 of the top things, the first things that jump into your mind. Want a new house, right there, house. Want to travel overseas to meet the grandkids, travel. I want health, health. Freedom, freedom. What is 4 things, just 4, the 4 top things that you would like to attain? Doesn't matter what they are, the first 4 that you come up with. In each of those blocks, in the middle, write that word. When you've done that, give me a thumbs up. Show me a thumbs up. Reactions, the bottom of the screen there, reactions, click, thumbs up. Oops, let's put my hand up. Elizabeth says yes. Monica says yes. Ninky says yes. 4 things. Don't overcomplicate it. You can change it another point once I've taken you through this. There we go, Oren. All right. Okay. Great. Take the same piece of paper, fold it back again twice, and then fold it another 2 times in half and half again. Right, so 4 folds. That's all you're doing. Does anybody know how many times you can actually fold a piece of paper? What is the maximum amount of times you can actually fold a piece of paper? Does anybody know the answer? Put in the chat box. Do you know that? When I was doing this, I actually found it quite interesting. Does anybody know how many times can you fold a piece of paper? Not try now. You're going to confuse the exercise. Anybody know? Take a guess. How many times can you fold a piece of paper? Back to that later. All right. Once you've folded it, you're then going to have in each, see, that's why I want my slides. You're going to have in each of your quarters of the page, 4 blocks, 2, 3, 4. Not quite the same as mine. I've gone even further than that. So what I want you to do, give me, somebody type in the chat box, just one example of one of your goals. Goals, dreams, just an example. Somebody put in the chat box there. Just so that I can use a real example for you. I'm going to have some of my coffee while I wait for somebody to type an answer. Anything. What is just one of the words that you've put on there? House, house. Okay, thank you. Coach Bernard, love it. Dr. Bernard said house. Coach Bernard was something different. House, okay. So let's take this. Coach B, we're going to use you an example. You want to unmute yourself? Are you able to unmute yourself? Are you working, my friend?
Unmuted.
Love it, love it. Okay. So you've written house in the center, and around house, you've got 4 squares, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In those 4 squares, write how it would make you feel to have that house of your dreams, that house that you're looking for. Give me 4 feelings. When you've got that house, how's it going to make you feel? Share. Put yourself in that mind. Sit there for a moment and think, I've got this house. Maybe you already know it. You've seen it in the street, the suburb, this area in the UK, beautiful countryside perhaps. You've got this house. What feeling state does it give you being in that house? Will you find feelings of peace? It's going to be a peaceful place. Maybe you live in a busy one. You want peace. Maybe it's security. Maybe it's a feeling of having accomplished something, because you know to get the house, you're going to have needed to build a business and do various things. So you're going to feel fulfilled, perhaps. So what comes up for you? You okay to share?
Yeah, I've got peaceful, homely, security. I'm stuck on the fourth one.
Okay. So you need to really put yourself in that place of, I've got this house. If I'm sitting in my dream house, you've got a vision of it already. I could only imagine. You've seen it. I know this for me. You're sitting there and you've got a vision of what this house would mean to you. How does it make you feel? Sometimes you really need to put yourself into that as already having achieved it. That's why this is a great exercise to do after doing the future vision statement, because in that future vision statement, you're already living in that house. Have you put yourself there? How does it feel? When I vision myself in my dream house, one of the feeling states is alive that I have. I know that when I will be in that house and it's got a view of the lagoon, I'm going to feel alive and invigorated. I'm going to feel excited. I'm going to feel at peace because I know I've achieved what it is that I want. It's going to give me a calm sensation. It's also going to make me feel generous because I want to share this for those who don't have, to come and visit and stay in a place so they can also build their dreams. So what you want to do is with each of those 4 dreams is write, how does it make you feel? Joyce, good health. For you to have good health, how would it make you feel? Would you feel like you got more energy? Would you feel, okay, good health and feeling comes together. But you're going to feel more relaxed. You're going to feel calmer. You're going to feel more at peace. Each of those squares, write how attaining that, having that, will make you feel. Because what you're doing now is you're moving out of the intellectual thinking mind and moving into the heart mind. Which is more powerful? Your heart brain or your intellectual thinking brain? Anybody got an idea? Which one's more powerful? Not which one do we use most, which one's more power? Which has a stronger ability to keep you on path no matter what? It's your heart brain. So that's why you want to move out of the head space into the feeling space. Because when you feel it, it becomes real, becomes genuine, becomes truth. It's not a thought, it's a feeling state. When you're then sharing with other people, you're sharing from your heart, you're sharing genuine. It's not just a thought or an idea or a dream or a fantasy, which is all intellectual. It's all in our thinking brain. Starts here, you want to move it down to here. And when you feel it in your heart, that means you know it. And it doesn't matter what circumstances get thrown at you. Roadblocks, challenges, detours get presented to you. Because it's a feeling state. You will carry on following through. So I see Coach B is really sitting there thinking about this. If you meditate, it's a great thing to do. As I meditate, when I do, then I put myself in that state of visualization. I vision it and I feel it. I'm living there. I know I am and where I am. And I have a look and I go, well, how does it make me feel that I'm going to be sitting here? And one of the big things that always comes energized and alive, because I'm going to go, I've done it. Powerful and peace. So that's the exercise today, guys. The feeling state is far more valuable than the individual benchmarks on how to get there. Once you know how it makes you feel, the what you do to get there. Because you've got to do work. You can't just go, oh, I want a house, and visualize and sit there and go underneath a tree, and for the house go, hey, here we are. No, you've got to do stuff. You still have to be active. But when you know how it's going to make you feel and you focus on that, the what you do starts to unfold on the way. Don't worry about how. Push how you're going to get there to the side. We focus way too much on, but how are we going to get there? Don't worry about that. Understand how it's going to make you feel. What is your feeling state for what it is that you want? Then follow the steps of what makes you feel good along the journey. Now, why is that such an important part? If you're busy on a journey for the house, and the work that you're doing, or what it is, the path that you're following, is not making you feel fulfilled, feel happy, feel secure, feel comfortable. It's a hard work. You're procrastinating against it. You're busy racking your mind. It gives you a headache, and you believe, I'm never going to get there. This work is impossible to do. It costs me £1 million. There's never no chance I'm going to get there. Too much up here. And you're focusing too much on what you're going to do. Now, at that point, when you're procrastinating and you're finding that strain, here's what I encourage you to do. Go back to your values and your purpose statement. Is what it is that you want to do and what you are doing now to get there, is it aligned to your values? And if it's not, that's why you're procrastinating. That's why it's hard work. You've got a choice at that point. Change your values or change your reason why you are doing what it is that you're doing. Give you an example. This happened to me a couple of years ago. I used to run a program called the Wealth Thinking Workshop. So when we still had an office in Cape Town, this is BC. When COVID came along, that stopped. I wanted to change tune, and so I didn't run the workshops online. I was doing other things at the time. But then people that I was talking to kept saying to me, they'd ask me questions, and I was thinking, well, that's actually part of the workshop, or that answer's in the workshop. It's all about the economy, but the real economy from a non-economist perspective, from my simpleton mind, to breaking this complex thing down of the economy into understandable terms. And people would be talking, have conversations, and I'd be thinking, but that's in my workshop. And then a couple of people said, well, why don't you write a book? And then a great friend of mine in Petra Laranja in Gauteng, I met her and she said, when are you going to write your book? I was like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, my book's in here. It's on my computer. And I never did it. Somebody else would say. And then I'd think, yeah, you know what? If I had my book, I'm talking about a published book. I'm talking about an ebook, an electronic book. Put all the information down, send it to me. And I was procrastinating. And I sat down one day and I said, but why aren't I doing this? And I looked at my values. And I've shared with you my purpose statement before. To learn, disseminate, exemplify, teach what it is that I'm applying in my life to others so that they can improve their lives. Then I looked and I said, well, because the reason why I'm writing the book is not attuned to my values. See, I wanted to write the book because people asked me for it. And I thought it'd be a good idea, but that's not my driving reason. My driving reason was to take a complex situation, a complex, perceivably complex thing which people get caught up with, which is about the economy and about what is currency and what is money, and break it down into simple terms to help them understand what I had taught myself and I'd learned over many years. So when I then aligned writing this book with my values, it took me 1 week to write it, second week to edit it, and the third week I'd done it and sent it out. That's the real world difference between doing something because you believe you need to or have to versus doing something because it is aligned to who you are, your values and your purpose. And so I did. I sent out that book. It needs updating now because the economy changes all the time. And I entitled it, Why Your Neighbor's Cat Has More Wealth Than You. That's the title of my book. But that's just an example of, if you're struggling and you're finding this hard work and annoying and frustrating and you're procrastinating against it, go back and compare it to your values. Is it attuned? If it isn't, dump it, outsource it, or change your reason why you're doing it. Okay? If you are focusing on the house, good health, and I'll share my 4 with you now, is if you're focusing on that and it feels good and it makes you happy and you find joy in the process and you love it, and the feedback people give you, because maybe it's in service that you're doing something leading you in the direction, keep going. Because when you're feeling good about it, you're going to be attracting more of what it is that you need in order to help get you there. Law of attraction. It's the universal laws. What you focus on, you get more of. When you're in a good feeling state and you're focusing on feeling good, you will ultimately go down the journey, even if it means there's a detour. Maybe the house you're identifying as your dream house, there's a better one. But you're not going to see it if you're so structured that that's the only house and finished. End of story. There is no other. It's only that one and that. But what if there's a better one? But you've just not been able to see it. And that's the detours. Accept them as part of the journey. So focus on your feeling state. That's the end of me today. Focus on the feeling state. How does it make you feel? Moving from the intellect to the heart. And I will be straight and honest with you. It took me years, and it's still a process. I'm still busy doing this. I often find I'm still analyzing it way, way too much in my head and not focusing on my true reason why I want that. Why is it? What is that feeling state that I'm going to have by the attainment of this? And then it makes the journey so much more pleasant. Oh, here we go. Dr. C's got something. I'll read it because I know he's busy. Feeling state can also attract negative emotions because it happens when you are basing yourself on external senses. As born-again believers, we base ourselves on faith in the heart because that translates over into courage to face whatever comes up. Fantastic. Whatever comes your way, because you have the faith, the belief in what you are going for. Right? Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen. That's it. The evidence of things not seen. That's it. So the key is to step over into belief. Believe it. Feel it. Know it. I like to focus on a knowing. It's a deep knowing. Just like I shared this with somebody last week. They thought it was hilarious. Every morning when I wake up, I don't have to know my foot's going to hit the floor because of gravity. The gravity exists and it's real. I know my foot goes down when I put my leg out of bed in the morning and it doesn't go up. I know it exists. I believe it exists. I don't have to understand every single intricate part of what makes gravity and my foot go down. I just have to believe it. When you believe it, you know it, and you move forward. With courage. Love it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. That's it. And we want to move forward. So thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. While I'm not a scripture person, you are, and our story, our message is the same. It's lovely to get different perspectives on the same story. So take this away with you. And if you struggle to do it, good. It's a process, it's a journey. But perhaps, and I'll leave this as a last thought with you. Perhaps this is a piece of the puzzle that you're missing. And if you had this piece, you would already be where you want to be. But there's a reason why you are not where you want to be at the moment. It's because either you've started the journey or you need to change how you're approaching your journey, or you're still on your journey. And even the attainment of the house or the health, once you have that, it's not the end. Because when you're there or on your approach to there, something else is going to come down the line. And it's a continuation. You never reach your destination. It continues. But enjoy the journey. Have fun with the journey. Find love and peace and joy in the journey. It's far more exciting that way. Thank you very much, guys. This was what I was coming up with this week. Was writing it down and just keeping it so simple with 4 things, and each of them 4 feeling states. Was that valuable? Did you find that useful? Because next week we're going to extend this even further. Did you find that useful? Put in the chat box there. Finding your why is so important. That's it. Yep. So once you found your why is your why so important? Because it's going to be about how it makes you feel. That's why. And for those who have done, I'm not sure if anybody's on this call now, my session of 7 Devils Deep, it's all about the feeling state. When you get down deep enough to know your real core inner why that sits inside of you. It all comes down to how it's going to make you feel. All of it. Always does. Pleasure. Good. That was awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, is there any questions anybody would like to ask about this or about power gifting? You're welcome to unmute and ask away. Coffee's gone cold. And to Tina, thank you very much for coming. You missed the beginning, so catch the recording and see what else we spoke about. Nothing else for today. Are we all in holiday weekend, long weekend mode in South Africa anyway? Yeah, no problem, Tina. Thanks for coming. So spend some time this morning on a peaceful Saturday. If it's peaceful where you are, it's peaceful where I am, except they started building next door. I hope it's not too disturbing, the banging that's going on. Then spend some time on this, because it does require a bit of introspective analysis. Going inward. It's very important. I believe so. Nothing else to share. So are we done for the day? Keep an eye on your Telegram channel, as always, guys, because that's where you'll get the finale. There's no point in giving you little stories without knowing exactly what's going on around the opening of the platform. But as always, we're here. There's ongoing meetings, ongoing strategies that are busy happening, all in the background. There's no point in sharing everything with everybody. It's just too much backwards and forwards. Dr. C is busy. He was messaging with me earlier on, just at the beginning, with the data. We've had to take a whole new approach in solving the problem. They've got a long way. They've got a long way in order to fix the data clash, whatever the word is that you want to use, the data corruption. They've solved that problem. And as always, unfortunately, well, not always, as most of the time, unfortunately, once you solve one problem, then pop, something suddenly else comes up, but you're not going to know the second issue until the first one's resolved. It's just the way the programming happens. So change of strategy, change of approach. They're working all weekend again. And these programmers are committed. They are. Dr. C's with them every day. We had a group meeting with them earlier this week. We've got another one on Monday as well. So hang in there, as always. That plane is still flying in a holding pattern, not running out of juice. And I'll catch everybody on Monday. Have a glorious weekend. And as Ningi or Dr. C wants to add any thoughts, you're welcome to. Anybody?
Yes, where can we get a copy of the book with the cat?
I can send it to you. I'll send it to you. It is some of the information, like the inflation information, is slightly out of date because it was written 3 years ago, something like that. But it's still got valuable stuff. I'll send it to you, Coach B. You also want a copy? All right. I'm happy to. Happy to. But my focus has changed dramatically in my coaching. But I'll get back into it because it is important stuff to share for people to understand the real world of what it actually means. What does it mean to you, Arend, if America prints $7 trillion? Why should you care? That's what my question I was asking myself, and that was a journey that I went on of discovering. All right. I'll send it on to you. If I forget, please remind me. Thank you very much, everybody. Lovely to have you here. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday. Ciao for now.
Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.